Hey, this is Braxton and you're here in my studio in Brighton, and we're going to go through my latest track, When the Sun Goes Down, which is out on Anjunadeep now. It's out now. Let's start with the drum track. Oh yeah, no. Quite a fat kick. There's a little bit of processing on that kick actually. There's a little sort of transient shaper, this thing here, which is just pulling out some of the sustain just so it's not so huge. This is my sidechain. So a lot of things are kind of, this is just a duplicate of that kick track, and then a lot of my compressor plugins are kind of bouncing off that essentially. On from there we've got snares and claps and things like that. It's quite a big clap, it's massive, and then there's a separate clap which is just kind of like the top end. These are all just random bits of percussion, some from sample banks, some are from like just recording outside and things like that. It just kind of helps add a bit of energy and a variety to the drum track as well. And then hats, just a generic TR8 open hat, some cymbally sounds and some weird shaker stuff at the kind of sides as well. And then in terms of processing on these, I think it's just delays. That's kind of the drum track. Bass, let's do bass, sort of main bass sounds I guess. There's kind of like a low sort of subby sound, and then the top kind of harsh sound. I ironically used Massive to do the sub, and then used a sub 37 to do the kind of brightness. That sort of sound. So those are the two kind of bass sounds together. Some of this is quite nice. They're both going out to like a bass sort of group. I've got the DBX, which is just basically a compression unit. I've slightly tweaked their bass enhancer. And then there's obviously the sidechain to that main kick. So every time that kick comes in, you use sidechain compression, you know what that is. Main piano was Korg M1. There's a bit of EQ just cutting out the bottom end. And then the API, which is quite a nice rounded boost sort of here and there. The pad is from the M1 as well. Both of these are going to a Replica XT, which is like a Native Instruments delay unit, and the LX480, which is like a nice reverb made by Relab. It's an emulation of the old Lexicon 480. And then there's also this, which I've named Epic Pad. I use it on everything, UHE Diva. It's just insane. It's such a good plugin. And this is kind of just doing like end of the track, Vangelis-y, Blade Runner-y type lead thing. Just kind of searing and then opening up. As the track kind of progresses, it kind of opens up, so around about this point it's kind of at its brightest. But these are all just kind of dynamic-y sounding, random synths, random little bits, random little lines, just doing different stuff here and there. Everything's kind of moving around and kind of floating around, and it just kind of adds a bit of variety to the rest of the track as well, so it's not just the same sort of thing over and over. There's a choir thing, which is the EXS drenched in reverb. Again, it's just like another underlying layer of just ambience and stuff like that. Quite nice. Synthy kind of crashes I'll do on those kind of transitions, on those impact points. So rather than just having purely kind of like cymbal crashes and things like that, I'll use synths. Adds to the tone of the sound, the way I kind of bus everything. I have these kind of four groups: drum bus, all the kind of lows, then all of the synths as well into their own separate bus, and then anything top end, so all of the kind of brightness and all that sort of stuff. Let me go back to the original version. Originally it was in 4/4, even though it's 129 BPM. I don't know what I was doing back then. The only stuff that kind of stayed is that piano line. That's alright. I don't really like it. That's quite interesting to see, you know, where you kind of start from and where you end up, essentially. Cool. Audio interface I'm using is an ID22 made by Audient. I've also got some lovely acoustic panels which I made. I kind of badly made. Dotted around the place. That's about it. If anyone's got any questions or any queries or anything like that at all, stick them in the comments section on YouTube and I will get back to you. When the Sun Goes Down is out now. It's out today on Anjunadeep. I'm gonna go and celebrate.